Hello, everyone. Welcome to another live stream. This is Tosif here on a beautiful Saturday night. And please announce your name when you join the live stream. Write something in the live chat window, as I always encourage you to do. Once you write something in the live chat window, that tells me who's here. So I would appreciate if you do that. And I'm going to be talking about what I did today. And what I'm probably going to do is wait for maybe a minute and a half before I get started. So I attended a very nice event today, and that's what I'm going to be talking about. It's important, it's significant. And I'll talk about what I discussed at the event. So all of that's coming up in a minute. Please let me know who's here. Write something in the chat window, my friends. All right, so we are at the 1 minute 30 second mark. I'm gonna wait for maybe half a second more and then I'll get started. So wherever you are joining from, please tell me, how is the weather? Today we had very nice weather in Wisconsin. It was a little chilly, which is normal this time of the year. It's still March, but it was pretty bright and sunny. And that's what I absolutely love. You can probably tell I'm very relaxed. I'm wearing a colorful, flowery shirt. I'm very relaxed at home. I had a nice day. So let's see. All right, I think I'm gonna get started with the discussion. So my friends, I received an invitation to speak at the Grant County Republican Party's Lincoln Day lunch. Okay, they had a luncheon. So Grant County is the southwesternmost county in the state of Wisconsin. So if you look at the map of Wisconsin, we have 72 counties. The county that is the southwesternmost, okay, that's Grant County. Okay, so it's, that area is called the tri-state region because in that part of the country where Grant County is, you see that three states have come together. So you get a corner of Illinois, you get a corner of Iowa, and you get a corner of Wisconsin. And so that's why it's called the tri-state area. Anyway, and so I received an invitation from the Republican Party in Grant County. So the chairman of the Grant County Republican Party invited me to speak at the Lincoln Day Luncheon. So this is an annual event. I may have mentioned this previously, that in Wisconsin, in different counties, the local county parties do what's called a Lincoln Day event. I don't know if most, but a lot of the county parties do Lincoln Day dinner. So it's an evening program. And then there are many that do Lincoln Day lunch. So this was a lunch event. And there were quite a few speakers, mostly candidates, actually, because at these Lincoln Day events, and so these events are done in honor of President Abraham Lincoln. And I may have mentioned this, but some counties call it Lincoln Reagan Day event. So in that case, they are honoring not only Abraham Lincoln, but also Ronald Reagan. Okay, so this was a Lincoln Day lunch, and I was invited to speak. So my topic was immigration. My topic was the border crisis and immigration. Now, back in 2017, well, I attended a lot of Lincoln Day events and Christmas parties and picnics in Grant County. Okay, the Grant County GOP events are really good. I've attended quite a few of them over the years. Back in 2017, I attended a Grant County Republican Party picnic where I shared my story of immigration. So I was the featured speaker, and I talked about my journey from Bangladesh to the United States and how I became a citizen. It was a very nice event. It was an outdoor event in the summer. I think it was in the summer or early fall. It was outdoor event. It was at a nice shed by a park, and great group of conservatives. So this was back in 2017 where I had the opportunity to share my story. Now, today's event, my purpose of speaking was a little different. Obviously, I was talking about immigration, but I was not really focusing on my story, but I was focusing on the crisis at the southern border and what's going on and sharing my views on this issue. And so this Lincoln Day event took place in a city called Lancaster, Wisconsin. Okay, Lancaster. That's the city in Grant County. It's actually the county seat. So Lancaster is the county seat of Grant County. And you can look it up on a map. It's a very nice community, very nice community. I enjoyed my drive from Madison to Lancaster. It takes about, hour 15, hour 20 minutes. And so anyway, what I did was I basically, I started with the difference between legal and illegal immigration, something that I mention quite frequently. It's important for us to understand the difference between legal and illegal immigration. Most reasonable, informed individuals will understand what it is, because legal just means you're following the law. Illegal means you're crossing the border and entering illegally. I mean, that's pretty simple. But it's important to highlight that because that's the distinction we're making. We're not saying that we oppose immigration. We don't. We conservatives, Republicans, we don't oppose immigration. Overwhelmingly, we support immigration. Legal immigration, that's what we support, legal immigration. And so I shared with the group during my speech today that approximately 1 million foreign-born individuals get their permanent residency to live and work in America every year. And hundreds of thousands of people become naturalized US citizens every year. So it's important to highlight that, the reason being that the left will always say that we are anti-immigrant. The left will accuse the right of being anti-immigrant. I've heard that before. The Democrats accuse the Republicans, the Democrats accuse the conservatives of being anti-immigrant. We're not. We support immigration as long as it's done through the legal process. And so that's why I think it's important to highlight the statistics and the data to show that as a country, we welcome immigrants. We're granting green cards to 1 million foreign-born individuals every year, approximately 1 million. And then hundreds of thousands are becoming naturalized US citizens every year. And that's possible because we are a welcoming country. So I talked about these facts. And then I also highlighted how the Democrats like playing with language. Let me give you 2 examples that I shared with the group today. When Border Patrol apprehends illegal immigrants, it's called an apprehension, right? The Border Patrol apprehends illegal immigrants. It's called an apprehension, but now the Biden administration calls it an encounter. They don't call it apprehension, they call it encounter. And so similarly, those individuals, foreign nationals who enter the United States illegally, they are illegal immigrants or illegal aliens, right? Those are the terms we use, illegal immigrants or illegal aliens. But now the Biden administration has come up with a new term. The Biden administration are now calling illegal immigrants newcomers. Can you believe that? Newcomers? They're newcomers. So, I basically told the group that what the Biden administration is trying to do is to legalize, normalize, and glorify illegal immigration by calling these illegals newcomers. I mean, these illegals are not newcomers. They're illegal aliens. They're illegal immigrants. They are not newcomers. Okay? But this is how the Democrats they play with language to try to normalize this thing. They are trying to normalize illegal immigration by calling these individuals newcomers. They are not newcomers. They are illegal immigrants. They are illegal aliens. So it's important to understand this, to be informed about these things, because this is how the Democrats they shape the narrative. Okay, you're probably going to see Democrats on TV screens appearing on different interviews, and they're going to say newcomers, newcomers are coming. We have to help the newcomers. No, they're not newcomers. All right, they're not newcomers. They're illegal aliens. They're illegal immigrants. This country is our home, as I've said before. This country is our home. We, the Americans, love this country. This is our home. So when somebody enters our home illegally, that person is not a newcomer. That person is an illegal immigrant or an illegal alien. Okay, and so it's important to understand what the Democrats are trying to do. They're trying to normalize illegal immigration by playing with words, by calling apprehensions encounters, by calling illegal immigrants newcomers. So anyway, I highlighted all of this in front of the group, and so what the illegal aliens are doing, as I've discussed before on this channel numerous times, they're displacing American citizens. So I see somebody has joined from Mexico, 85 degrees. Thank you for joining, Carlos. Thanks for watching my channel. Anyone here, please state your name, state where you're from. Just as Carlos did, write something about the weather, the temperature, wherever you are. Okay. All right, my friends. Let me move forward. And so during my speech today, which was in front of a group of freedom-loving Americans. I mean, the Grant County Republican Party members, they're freedom-loving Americans. They all gathered for the Lincoln Day luncheon. And when I was speaking, I highlighted some very important facts. So I shared with the group some information that I knew would be shocking for them. I talked about New York City. And the fact that it has been estimated that the city will have to spend approximately $10.6 billion through June 2026 to deal with the migrant influx. And then I also talked about the fact that New York City is giving migrant families prepaid cards so that they can go out and shop. Okay. And then obviously the question that I raised was how will New York City officials make sure that the money is spent on food and baby supplies, right? That's the condition. These prepaid cards, you can only spend the money on food and baby supplies, but how do you enforce that? So I raised the question. And then I informed the group. I said, the New York City officials, they want the illegal immigrants to sign an affidavit promising that they are only going to spend the money on food and baby supplies. And obviously the question is, illegal immigrants who have already violated our nation's immigration laws, they don't have respect for the rule of law in America. So how can New York City officials expect that these illegal immigrants are going to follow the words written in an affidavit, right? I mean, isn't that a ridiculous expectation? I mean, illegal immigrants, they're already in violation of our nation's laws. And so how can New York City officials expect that they're going to follow what's written on an affidavit? Anyway, it's just shocking. So I went on to talk about New York Governor Kathy Hochul and her proposal to allocate billions of dollars for the migrants, and that left-wing politicians in some other communities are asking residents to house migrants, which basically is an attack on property rights. Let me tell you, it is a bad idea. Okay, it can't get worse than that. Okay, to house illegal immigrants in a private home, that is just ridiculous. Okay, out of question. I see my friend Terry is here. Terry, thank you for joining. It's good to see you. Terry, I'm talking about my experience speaking at the Lincoln Day luncheon at in Grant County at the Grant County Republican Party Lincoln Day event. All right, Terry, right? Sorry, I'm late. No problem, Terry. I'm glad you're here. All right. So, I also talked. So Terry is writing. I saw your pictures of it. Yeah, I posted pictures on social media, my friends. So if you want to see pictures of me speaking at the podium today, I have posted some pictures on YouTube. You can check those out. I've also posted pictures on my Facebook page. I've also posted pictures on Instagram as well as my uh, Twitter account. Well, it's no longer Twitter, it's X. So on X, you can go and check out my pictures. Now, as I have been saying, I talked about a variety of issues that Americans are facing because of the arrival of illegal immigrants. Hospitals, for example. Hospitals are having to serve illegal immigrants who are filling up the waiting rooms outside emergency departments. And what's happening as a result is American citizens are having to wait for the medical care that they need. And so this is happening in Colorado as well as other places. So, and obviously, I keep saying on this channel that our tax dollars are being spent on the migrants, and that's creating a hole in the budget, right? I mean, look at Denver. Denver is looking at a budget deficit of $180 million, and so illegal immigrants are using up our dollars, and that's creating financial challenges for communities across the country. And so anyway, I've been discussing these things, and I talked about these during my speech at the Grant County Republican Party Lincoln Day event. And so basically what I said is that these illegal immigrants, 9+ million illegal immigrants who have come into the country since Biden came to office, they're not just going to New York City or Chicago or San Francisco or LA or San Diego. I mean, these individuals are going to be spreading all over the United States. And so if you live in an American community, a peaceful community, a city or a town or a village, and you are thinking that your community doesn't have an issue, or you're not seeing the adverse impacts of illegal immigration, then it's just a matter of time before illegal immigration impacts your community, because this is an ongoing problem. Every day, more and more people are pouring into the country. And so, I mean, and I use the example of Whitewater, Wisconsin. Whitewater, Wisconsin, which is a community quite close to the Wisconsin-Illinois border, that community is already facing the adverse impacts of illegal immigration. There are many migrants who showed up in Whitewater, and they are there, and there are many challenges that the community is facing as a result. And so what's going to happen when resources run out in Chicago? What's going to happen when resources run out in Chicago? When the city of Chicago, it can't handle the influx of migrants anymore? What's going to happen? A lot of the migrants may go to other communities, other nearby states. Okay, Indiana may be impacted. I don't live in Indiana, but Indiana is a neighboring state, a neighbor to Illinois. They may be impacted, and I'm worried about my state where I live. These migrants may show up in Milwaukee. They may show up in Kenosha, Racine. They may end up in Janesville, Beloit. I'm talking about the communities that are close to the Wisconsin-Illinois border, and Madison, Wisconsin. Okay, Madison is still an hour away, an hour drive away from the Wisconsin-Illinois border, but Madison is a hub. It's a growing city. So, and it's the state capital. So I mean, is there a possibility that illegal immigrants may show up in Madison? They may. It may happen when resources run short in Chicago. Illegal immigrants from Illinois, they may find their way to communities in Wisconsin. Okay, Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha, Janesville, Beloit, Madison. Other places may be impacted. Okay, it's possible, and I'm afraid that it may happen because the crisis is ongoing. Let's see. Susan is here. Susan, wonderful to see you here. I saw that you commented on one of my videos earlier, maybe a short while ago. I didn't get a chance to answer, but I will. Great to see that you're here, Susan. All right. I have to stay hydrated. All right. My friends, so I kind of highlighted in front of the audience, and as I said, these are freedom-loving Americans. They are conservatives. Okay, they want to protect our constitutional rights and freedoms. So anyway, it was just such a pleasure to speak in front of this group, as I've done before. So I basically highlighted these facts, and I said, well, I am concerned that the crisis will arrive in Wisconsin too. And so we are seeing all over the country, especially in sanctuary cities, that Democrat policies are leading to lawlessness and chaos. And I also highlighted that in 2022, Senator Chuck Schumer proposed a pathway to citizenship for 11 million illegal immigrants. And so obviously we understand what the Democrats are trying to do. If the Democrats want to grant citizenship to illegal immigrants, and with citizenship comes voting rights, I mean, oh my God, is that what the Democrats want? They want to give voting rights to illegal immigrants? I mean, that is completely unacceptable. And so, my friends, I highlighted all these issues in front of the group, and I said, no community is safe. Illegal immigration will hurt every community. And I strongly oppose this proposal that Chuck Schumer had back in 2022. I believe that illegal immigrants should not have a pathway to citizenship. Should not, okay? I completely oppose a pathway to citizenship for illegal immigrants. I oppose that idea. I oppose Chuck Schumer's proposal. And anyway, back in 2022, I actually wrote an op-ed which was published in the Western Journal on this issue. So you can look it up. You can go to my website, tossifanam.net, and you can check out my my op-ed. So my message in front of the group today was the following. I said that American communities must proactively declare that our communities are non-sanctuaries. Our communities are not sanctuaries, okay? So it's important. It's important for village leaders, for city leaders, for county leaders, for town leaders. So whether you're talking about city council or village board or town board or county board of supervisors, I mean, elected officials. And so Carlos is writing, I enjoy your information. I'm here on vacation for 6 months and return to Illinois. Carlos, thank you. Thank you for sharing sharing that information. I hope you enjoy your vacation. And thank you for staying connected to my channel. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate that. And I see that Susan is writing some comments here. And Carlos is writing in June. Okay. So Carlos is coming back to Illinois in June, I think. Thank you, Carlos, for staying connected. So my friends, as I was saying, I highlighted these problems, and I told the group, I said, you know, the elected officials at the local level, they must be proactive, okay? A city council cannot wait to see if migrants show up in the city or not. It's important to be proactive and to declare that the city will not be a sanctuary city, okay? And so I basically am urging the elected officials at the local level to take action to protect their communities by declaring that their communities are not going to be sanctuaries for illegal immigrants, okay? And so I shared with the group some examples. I mean, and I've talked about this. I've talked about this on my channel here. I said, if you remember, if you've been following my live streams and my videos, then you know that I talked about El Paso County in Colorado, okay? El Paso County in Colorado. It's important to mention this example over and over again because there are always new people joining my live stream. So if there are new people here who did not listen to my previous live streams, I want them to know this. And this is something I highlighted in my speech earlier this afternoon. I said, El Paso County in Colorado, they found out that some illegal immigrants arrived in their community. This was some weeks ago. And so these individuals, these illegal immigrants who made their way to El Paso County in Colorado, they were most likely migrants from Denver. So what Denver is doing, and you can look this up on the internet, Denver gave migrants government funded bus passes so that the migrants could go and populate other communities. And so some illegal immigrants ended up in El Paso County in Colorado. And so guess what the El Paso County Board of Commissioners did? As soon as they found out that illegal immigrants are arriving in their community, they organized a press conference and declared that El Paso County will not be a sanctuary for illegal immigrants. And so, Aurora, Colorado City Council also passed a resolution stating that it has no intention of helping migrants who are transported to their community from nearby municipalities. And then Monument, Colorado, Monument is a city in Colorado. They also declared that they are a non-sanctuary city. Mesa County in Colorado also declared itself a non-sanctuary county. Garfield County in Colorado declared itself a non-sanctuary county. City of Montrose and Colorado Springs, they also declared that they are not sanctuaries. So I shared these examples and I said, this is what should happen all over the country. Cities and villages and towns and counties must proactively declare. Elected officials must go in front of the camera and they must they could introduce a resolution and pass a resolution saying that in our community there's no room for illegal immigrants. So if illegal immigrants show up in a city and expect to receive free housing, free food, free other services, that's not going to happen. And going beyond passing a resolution and going beyond doing a press conference to declare that the community will not be a sanctuary for illegal immigrants, I think it's also important for local elected officials to talk to the nonprofit leaders in their communities. Talk to the nonprofit leaders, talk to the nonprofit agencies and tell them, hey, don't provide assistance to illegal immigrants. Because if you do that, then you're basically enticing more illegal immigrants to show up. And this is what El Paso County Board of Commissioners did. Not only did they declare that the county will not be a sanctuary for illegal immigrants, they also asked the nonprofits in the area to refrain from helping illegals. The message basically is, don't invite the crisis. If you provide free housing, if you provide free food, free, clothes, free, lots of other services, then more and more migrants will show up. I mean, that's what Terry is writing something. Declare yourself non-sanctuary, gives warning. Yeah, exactly. As Terry just said, if you declare yourself a non-sanctuary city, it's basically giving a warning that illegal immigrants will not find shelter. And so, because let's be clear, let's understand this. There are many Americans who need help, and I have repeated that so many times, and I'm gonna say it again. There are many American citizens who are in need, many seniors, many children, many individuals with disabilities, people struggling with various health problems. There are so many Americans who need help. So the resources that the nonprofit organizations have, those resources should go towards the American citizens. And legal immigrants are fine. If somebody came to the United States legally, that's fine because they are following the law. They're coming here legally. So they belong here. So legal immigrants, citizens, resources should be for them, not for illegal immigrants, not for folks who cross the border and enter the United States illegally. No. And see what Denver is trying to do, because Denver can't handle the pressure anymore. So Denver, handed out city funded. What does city funded mean? It means taxpayer funded. So Denver is using taxpayer dollars to buy bus tickets for the migrants so that they can push the migrants out to other communities in the state of Colorado, to push the problem out, to spread the problem. And so a lot of communities in Colorado are basically saying, we're not going to let that happen because now we're going to declare ourselves non-sanctuary, which means we're not going to use tax dollars to provide services to the migrants. So that's important to do, but it's also important to clearly, publicly tell the nonprofits, hey, don't help out the illegals, because if you do that, then more and more illegals are going to be coming, and your city will become Denver, your city will become New York City, your city will become Chicago. Okay? And the people can't afford to handle that. Money is already tight. There are so many local government entities who are already struggling. I mean, there are cities and villages that need a new police station, that need a new community building, that need a new village hall or a city council, city hall. They need to replace the old building with something more modern. They need to fix the roads and the bridges and so many other things. There are so many endless needs, my friends. And so limited resources should be used to help the American citizens, the legal immigrants, and to take care of the community. So the government has responsibilities, and taking care of illegal immigrants is not a part of those sets of responsibilities, okay? So my message during the event in which I spoke, it was very clear. I'm just one person, but I'm trying to use my voice. I'm trying to exercise my First Amendment right, and I'm trying to speak to people, and I'm trying to encourage elected officials, mayors, city councilors, village board members, town board members, county board members. I'm encouraging them to proactively declare that the communities that they represent will not be sanctuary for illegal immigrants. Okay? Um, Let me look at the chat window here. Terry writes, veterans. Absolutely, Terry. Veterans need help. There are so many veterans who are homeless, who are at risk of homelessness, veterans with various health issues, veterans who are facing mental health challenges. We need to help them because they served our country. They are American citizens. We need to help them and not spend money on illegal immigrants. Carlos writes, unbelievable. My property taxes are going up now. Carlos, this is what happens, in liberal areas. What happens is the government spends more money than it can afford to, and the government doesn't have any money. It's all taxpayer money. And then when there's a shortage, they raise taxes, they raise fees. And here in Madison, Wisconsin, there are conversations ongoing about the possibility of raising taxes and fees. I mean, here in my home city of Madison, Wisconsin, and Carlos, you mentioned you're from Chicago, right? Is that what you said, Chicago? Yeah. So Chicago is not far from Madison, Wisconsin. It's just 3 hours by car, depending on traffic during rush hour. But in Madison, Wisconsin, there's something like a $27 million budget deficit. I don't know why this budget deficit, why we came to this point that there's a budget deficit. So I want to know the answer. But anyway, so what the conversations right now are all about, trying to, address this budget deficit by raising taxes and fees, which then puts further pressure on the American people who are already suffering because of inflation. So Joe, I am let me see. So Carlos, I'm sorry to hear that your property taxes are going up, but uh, this is sad, but this is happening in liberal areas. Susan is writing about Lahaina and the people who are suffering there in Hawaii, because they lost everything because of the Lahaina fires. And obviously, I've talked about it. Um, I think in a podcast episode, I think there's a video on my channel about the Hawaii fires. Really heartbreaking, really tragic. So many people lost everything, and they are suffering so much. It's just it breaks my heart. um, we'll keep praying for them. And so, I mean, that's really that's I mean, look at it. That's why, I mean, Susan mentioned the Lahaina people in Lahaina. See, there are so many Americans who are suffering, who need help, but the Democrats are busy spending tax dollars on the migrants. So I basically said that the elected officials at the local level, because the Biden administration at the federal level, they're not doing their job rather than addressing the illegal immigration issue. I mean, the Biden administration created this crisis. It's because of the Biden administration that we have an open border and this border crisis. So I basically said that the local elected officials, the mayors, the city councilors, village board members, town board members, county board members, they have to step up and proactively declare that their communities will not be sanctuaries for illegal immigrants. And so that was my message. And there was a lot of applause, so I know that people liked it. People liked what I said. It's a very challenging time that we're facing in this country right now. There are so many challenges, my friends, but it also means that we have to continue working hard. We have to find ways to protect our country, to protect the American people, and to make sure that our communities remain safe. And so that was the purpose of the speech that I gave this afternoon. And I said that I am hoping and I'm praying that Donald Trump wins the election November 2024. And I'm hoping and praying that the Republicans regain the majority in the US Senate. And I'm hoping and praying that the Republicans increase the size of their majority in the House of Representatives. But we're going to know that in November 2024, and there are many months between now and November 2024. And even if we win, and I'm hoping that we do. So if we win in November 2024, it's going to be January 2025 by the time the new Congress is in place, by the time the new president is sworn into office. And so there are so many months between now and November 2024. There are so many months between now and January of 2025. And so because the illegal immigration continues to be an ongoing issue, this problem is going on every single day. So we need to take action right now. And what action can we take? The local elected officials, they can take action. They can declare that their communities will not be sanctuaries for illegal immigrants. They can declare that their communities will not spend tax dollars on illegal immigrants, and they can send a message to the nonprofits in the area to not provide services to illegal immigrants. Okay, and if there's strong collective action, if communities across the country, if local elected officials in cities, states, towns, counties, across the United States, if they do that, then we will be able to we will be able to you know address this problem to a great extent, I think, because then foreign nationals are going to get the message that, hey, the Americans are saying no. The Americans are rejecting illegal immigration. The Americans are sending a strong message. The American elected officials at the local level, they're sending a strong message that there won't be any tax dollars spent on migrant housing and migrant food and migrant other services. So that's what I urged local elected officials to do, to take action and to declare their communities to be non-sanctuary. So my friends, um, Carlos writes, yes, sir, 1,000% right. Thank you, Carlos. I appreciate you writing that. Um, Let me also see what Terry wrote. Terry is writing, your information coming from a legal immigrant, naturalized citizen makes a good point. Absolutely, Terry. That's my whole purpose. And I said this during the speech that as a legal immigrant, as a naturalized US citizen, I feel compelled to talk about this issue. I cannot sit back and just watch this crisis go on. I can't do that. I have a responsibility from deep within myself. I feel that I have a responsibility to speak up and to say what's right, what's wrong. Because I came to the United States legally. There are so many people who are coming here legally. They're waiting for years. They're completing their paperwork. They're going through background check. They're paying the fees that are due. And after they come here, they're working hard. They're paying taxes. They're contributing to the growth and success of our country. And so legal immigrants help make our country strong. And if the border remains open and illegal immigrants continue to pour into the United States, then what message does that send to the world? Why should anyone, wait for years to come in legally when millions of people are coming in illegally? And so that sends the wrong message. And remember, I told you that last year I was a guest on Fox and Friends, and during my live interview on Fox and Friends on Fox News, I said that we cannot have two pathways to come into the United States, one legal, one illegal. There should be only one pathway, that is the legal pathway, the proper process. So any foreign national who wants to come into the United States to live and work here must do so legally. And to have a sound and strong and proper legal process, we must secure the southern border and stop the influx of illegal immigrants. So anyway, I'm hoping that my message was clear. I obviously got a good response after my speech. A lot of people came up to me and they expressed their thoughts and opinions, and they expressed their appreciation. They said they agreed with me. They liked what I said. Obviously, as I said, there are many challenges that we're facing, but we have to be strong. We have to do the things that we need to do. I mean, time is of the essence, my friends. If we wait longer, then this crisis is just going to get worse. And that's why I urged the local elected officials, the mayors, the city councilors, the county board members, the town board members, the village board members, take action, do something for your community, do a press conference, and declare in front of TV cameras that your community is not going to be a sanctuary community for illegal immigrants, or pass a resolution and send a message that your community is not going to spend tax dollars on the illegal immigrants. So that's what I said. It was a beautiful day. I was in Lancaster, beautiful community, and I spoke in front of freedom-loving Americans. Okay, freedom-loving Americans, and there were quite a few candidates present, because obviously it's election season. So at the event, the other individuals who spoke were candidates for various offices. So there were Senate candidates, there was a Supreme Court candidate, and also um, so Senate candidates were there, people running for U.S. Senate, Supreme Court candidates, and also elected officials, some elected officials were in the room. And so, it was an opportunity to basically share what I feel as a legal immigrant and a naturalized U.S. citizen. And so I got good response, and I'm going to be doing more speaking engagements. And so I have one more coming up, and so afterwards I'll try to share with you my thoughts on the events that are coming up. So anyway, my friends, I appreciate you joining and engaging in the live chat window. It's Saturday night, and I understand that people may have other plans. So, Carlos, thank you for joining. I hope you're enjoying the warm weather. And so let's see. Oh, my friends, I got to tell you one thing, and I always highlight this. If you want to receive my e-newsletter, please send me your email address, okay? You can go to my website, tosifanam.net. You can scroll down on the homepage. You can scroll down, and there's this place where you can put your email address in and sign up for my e-newsletter. And otherwise, if you just email me, I'll add you to my e-newsletter list, okay? My email address is tosif@tosifanam.net. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. Write it down. My email address is tosif@tosifanam.net. So if you send me an email, I'd be happy to add you to my e-newsletter list. And in my e-newsletter, you're going to get more information on letters to editors that I've written, op-eds that have been published. You're going to learn more about the events that I'm going to, a lot of political events. You'll see some images and pictures of the places that I've been to. And then you're also going to get links to some important videos that I've published, and just some thoughts and comments that I share. So please sign up for my e-newsletter. Okay, I send it out. I try to send it out once a week, but because of how busy my schedule gets, sometimes I send it out once every 10 days or once every 15 days. So it's not like you're going to get an email from me every single day. So please sign up for my e-newsletter, and then if you don't like it, you can unsubscribe afterwards, okay? So not an issue. So please stay connected with me, my friends, and don't forget to check out my pictures. I posted some pictures from the event today on YouTube, as well as X, Facebook, and Instagram, okay? And you know what? If you have Instagram, you should just follow me on Instagram, okay? Just look up Tosif Anam and follow me on Instagram. I have a Facebook page. You can follow me on Facebook. You can also follow me on X, formerly known as Twitter. So please connect with me, okay? In addition to watching my videos on YouTube, you can check out the things that I'm posting on social media, on X, on Facebook, on Instagram. So you can stay connected with me in a number of ways, and I would appreciate that, my friends. I would appreciate that very, very much. So does anyone have any questions? So I just want to thank Carlos and Terry and Susan for joining today. Susan says good night. Well, thank you, Susan. You have a wonderful night as well. I'm past the 48-minute time mark. I don't have much to add further today, so I'm going to end this live stream at around the 50-minute time mark. So, my friends, thank you once again. I appreciate your time. I really appreciate it, especially on a Saturday night. You're spending time with me. You're joining my live stream. You're commenting. You're sharing your thoughts with me. You're watching my videos. I sincerely thank you for that. So, my friends, thank you so much. I will be back hopefully tomorrow with another live stream. That's my goal. And I'm not sure if I'll be doing it at 9 p.m. or 9:30, but I'll try to announce it ahead of time. Okay. So thank you all for joining. I'll try to do another live stream tomorrow. And please also check out the videos that I've published. that are not live streams but just pre-recorded published videos. And stay healthy, stay well, stay safe. And my friend Terry is writing, "Good night, Nikki, wherever you are." She's referring to Nikki. Terry, I'm trying not to talk about Nikki Haley, but you bring up Nikki Haley, and then I'm gonna start another 5 minute segment on Nikki Haley. Do you want me to do that? I said I was gonna end this live stream by the 50-minute time mark. Now we are past the 50-minute time mark, Terry, and you just mentioned Nikki Haley. And do you want me to start talking about Haley again? If you want, I can do that. Terry writes, "Good night, Dawson." I am happy to talk about Nikki Haley. Let me tell you, I am glad that she dropped out, okay? Thank you for dropping out, Nikki Haley. Thank you so very much. It was the wise decision that you made. It was a little late, but that's okay. Now, it would be wise for Nikki Haley to endorse Trump, but she hasn't done that yet. Hopefully, she'll do it tomorrow or the day after or the next day or next week or at some point in the near future. Will Nikki Haley endorse Trump? Terry, you're saying good night, Tassif, go to bed, but I'm charged up now because you just mentioned Nikki Haley, and I'm going to talk for 5 more minutes. I may do that. Do you want that? Or maybe longer. I don't know. Whenever you mention Nikki Haley, I can't just end the video right there. I have to go on. I mean, this is going to be written in the history books, my friends, okay? This is going to be written in the history book. This primary race, I mean, remember Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump back in 2016? And there was also that guy, John Kasich. All right. He was also running. He was trying to be president, but ended up not being the president. And there was this fierce battle between Ted Cruz and Trump. And then Trump won. Okay. And we thought that was a fierce primary. But what's happening? What happened during this cycle? Okay. I mean, Ted Cruz was doing fairly well, I think. I mean, he lost, but he was doing fairly well. And Nikki Haley, she just kept losing. My phone's ringing. I wonder who's I think I got a text message. Anyway. All right. So as I was saying, I mean, we're going to be talking about this primary for years to come, okay? I mean, this is 2024. We're talking about 2016, which was exciting, right? I mean, we remember 2012 also. I mean, people don't forget easily. Let me tell you, this primary season, we're going to be talking about it 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years down the road. At least I'm going to be talking about it, hopefully, because, it's just hard. It's just hard to forget. I mean, this individual, former governor of South Carolina, U.S. ambassador to the UN under Trump, running against Trump in 2024, losing, still running, and basically causing an embarrassment by losing her home state of South Carolina, and she still continues to run. And yes, she did secure a victory. Which one? Washington, D.C. She won the Washington, D.C. primary, okay? And so, and then, of course, she won Vermont. We're going to have to do research on Vermont. I told you this before. Terry, are you listening? We're going to have to do research on Vermont. What's wrong with Vermont, okay? My eyes are on Vermont. I'm going to pay attention to Vermont politics, okay? Maybe I'll subscribe to some of their local newspapers there, okay? And because I want to find out how Nikki Haley won Vermont, but that's okay. That's all right, okay? So Trump is on his way to the GOP nomination. He's going to win. We know that. And so now the conversation is about the debate. And I talked about it, was it yesterday? I said that, so Terry is still here. So Terry writes, Vermont, high, educated, rich, and high welfare state. Okay, all right. So we're going to have to analyze all of that, Terry. So anyway, Terry, I think you mentioned that you prefer 3 debates, right? You prefer 3 debates? Yeah, I think 3 debates would be great. Now, I want to hear your thoughts about who the debate moderators should be. I want to hear who the debate moderator should be. If you ask me, I'm going to say Brett Baer. Okay, Brett Baer should moderate at least one debate. Brett Baer of Fox News. I like him. I think he's going to do a great job. Now, it would be nice also, let me tell you, if Tucker Carlson moderated a debate, a presidential debate, but I don't know if that's going to happen because, you know, I don't know if that's going to happen because Tucker Carlson, you know, people probably, uh, you know, yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it could happen. I think now that I think about it. I mean, would you love to see Tucker Carlson? Laura Floyd writes Tucker Carlson. Tucker thumbs up. Yeah, I think Tucker Carlson moderating a debate would be awesome. Okay, but anyway, Brett Baer. I think Brett Baer is gonna do a pretty good job. Maybe Martha McCallum. I think Martha McCallum would. Terry writes Greg Gutfeld. Greg Gutfeld would be awesome. I mean, don't you love Greg Gutfeld's humor? I love it. Okay. I love his jokes. I love his humor. I think he's going to do great. But yeah, Brett Baer, Martha McCallum would be great, I think. Now, who moderated the debate between Newsom and Ron DeSantis? Was it Sean Hannity? Let me look it up. Was it Sean Hannity? Laura writes Greg. So Terry, Laura Floyd agrees with you that it should be Greg Gutfeld. Let me see. Who was it? Who was it? Let me just double check this. Okay. Um, who was who was the debate moderator? Oh, Sean Hannity. Okay, so Sean Hannity moderated the debate between Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. Okay, this was last year. And so it would be nice, I think, if Sean Hannity moderated a debate between Biden and Trump. Wouldn't that be awesome? I think that'd be awesome. What do you think? But yeah, Greg got so that's why I think there should be multiple debates. We could have, maybe Tucker Carlson moderate a debate and Greg Gutfeld another one. Or maybe we could have, Gutfeld and Sean Hannity team up. I think that'd be pretty entertaining if we had two moderators, Greg Gutfeld and Sean Hannity. I think that'd be pretty awesome. Okay, but then I'm thinking, as I said, Brett Baer and Martha McCallum. I think if Brett and Martha they jointly moderate a debate, I think it'll be a nice one. Okay, I think it'll be good. But anyway, I just can't wait for the debates. I can't wait for the debates. I want to watch the debates. I would love to see a debate tomorrow. I mean, what are they waiting for? What are they waiting for? I mean, Trump's going to get the nomination. The road is clear. Nikki Haley dropped out. So what are we waiting for? Why can't we have the debate, later this month or next month? We should have the debate soon, okay? I think that should happen. All right. Cat007, so glad to see you're here. Thank you so much, Cat007, for joining. Sorry I missed your comment a few minutes earlier, but thank you for joining. It's good to see that you're here. So anyway, we can talk more about debates, but don't forget to check out my Instagram. Don't forget to check out my X, formerly known as Twitter. I still keep calling it Twitter. Anyway, it's X. It's known as X. So check out my account on X, formerly known as Twitter. Connect with me on my Facebook page. Connect with me on Instagram. And please share my videos with your friends and family members and your neighbors. Ask them to subscribe. Help me reach more people. Help me get a bigger audience because I am trying my best to spread the message of freedom. Okay? And also, I want to see the Republicans united because we have to win in November 2024 if we want to make America great again. Do you want to make America great again? Let's support Trump. Let's do it, my friends. We got to win. And not just the White House. We have to regain the majority in the U.S. Senate, and we have to increase the size of our majority in the U.S. House. And of course, we want to see Donald Trump back in the Oval Office. So, with that, my friends, I am now close to the 1 hour mark. I appreciate you all joining. Thank you, everyone. Carlos writes, God bless America. God bless America. Thank you, Carlos, for writing that. God bless America. So, my friend Terry from South Dakota, thank you for joining. Carlos, thank you for joining. And Susan, thank you for joining. And Laura Floyd, thank you so much for joining. Cat007, thank you so very much. I thank each and every one of you for staying connected with me. Have a wonderful night, and I'm going to be back again with more videos, more live stream, and let's make America great again.